Hello everyone. Hello everyone. Welcome to 7/11 minute with ARKHILITE C. And today we have a very dear friend of mine, and she's also a director of EDL. I'm sure many of you or if you are here, part of our community. I'm sure you know EDL and their laminates. And of course, they've got interesting products and innovations coming up very soon. And my dear friend Daphne will be more than happy to share that with you in just a very short while. So, Daphne.
Hi.
Thank you for being with us.
Hi, Vincent. Thanks for having me today.
Daphne, I think there are lots of things that we want to talk about today. We have the reason why is I think the chat show. We didn't want it to be like too formal, but at the same time we didn't want it to be like too like super casual as well. So this is something that's really like a semi-casual chat, so that we're able to like give value to people who are like tuning in, and as well that we're able to have fun at the same time. So I think as a start, I would like to understand more about. I mean, you just give a few minutes shout out to what EDL in terms of brand story, and as well as how you are like involved with that, and what were you doing like before EDL?
Okay, hi everyone. I'm Daphne. I'm the second generation business owner of EDL. So the business was founded by my dad in 2002, and back then we specialized only in high pressure laminate. So an interesting fact about our company is that actually my dad named his company after us, his daughters. So EDL actually is the initials of me and my sister's names, and L being the family name. So subsequently, as you can tell, like all our sisters all came on board to join the business too.
Interesting. Before this, actually, we had a chat, and I knew about each of the alphabet of EDL that actually resonates with the name of you and your sisters. I think not many people in the industry know, or maybe some of us, your good friends and all that. But at least for consumers and even some of the designers who are like tuning in today. So folks, I actually had to like buy like Daphne did that so that when the COVID is over, so that and
Sure.
Therefore she's able to share that with us today. But Daphne, I think just when you mentioned that your dad started, how long was that ago? EDL.
It's about close to 20 years now.
All right.
Yeah.
And then what happened during the transition? Because of course there could be like companies, and when the second generation kind of like they're involved for certain reason. Did like your dad wanted you persuaded, and then all three or two or three of your of his children are involved in the business?
Yeah, so personally for myself, I joined the company fresh out of school because I know my dad needed a helping hand. Yeah, so my sisters joined us a couple of years later. Yeah, but I think for us, I think we were fortunate that our dad provided us with a very good foundation to work with. Like he built the business believing in quality-driven materials, and it's with this strong foundation that we're able to further grow the company. Yeah, so I think as one would expect, like for traditional businessmen to be very resistant to change and new ideas, but surprisingly, my dad was very open to them, and we all recognize that it's so important to be adaptable and to continue to evolve with the changing landscape. Yeah, so we all have that common goal.
Interesting. So it was like after you graduate, and then you see that there's this perhaps like alternative. It's not even an alternative, like you can notice where the trends are and where the growth are, and that's where you start to bounce off with your family, with your dad. Your mom's very much involved in the business as well.
Yeah, that's right.
And therefore, what could be more fun or rewarding to work as a family. But of course, there are like different in terms of the coordination, and but it does help that you were saying that your dad is very open.
Sure. I think working as a family definitely has its own set of challenges, but I must say it's mostly fulfilling. Like firstly, like we have a very big age difference, right? So we offer different unique perspectives. Like, so my dad has this skill and insight that comes from lived experience, and for the younger generation like us, we are very familiar with current trends. So when we come together, like, this becomes like a collective strength that enables the business to reach a wider audience. Yeah, and another big plus I would say, as a family, we actually engage in easier and faster decision making. So say for example, right, when we decide on a plan forward, we will sit everyone down, we discuss and we act on it. So this allows us to move very quickly with the times. Yeah, but I would say in general, we are all very different, but we work well as a team because we understand each other's strengths and weaknesses and we play to them. Yeah, and all of us are very hands-on, and we handle like different divisions and markets.
How do you deal with conflict? This will be the last question before I move on to the next one. If you have like because I think this will be interesting, not just for businesses who has got family members or relatives who are involved, but also with others. How do you deal with conflicts because you are like family?
I think not gonna lie, I think we all have our set of like fights and arguments when it comes to decision making. But I think altogether as a whole, we are very grounded and we are actually a very tight family unit. So when it comes to certain decisions that we have to make, we always ask ourselves what is our end goal in mind. So, and we all have similar aspirations for the company. So I think that really helps to, be rational about decisions. Yeah, and to maybe put down certain ego when we need to.
Does that lead to when you and your sister were involved in the business, does that lead to EDL having a different kind of brand story than what was originally formulated?
Yeah, so back then and now we are very, very different actually. So when my dad first started business, we are only specialized in HPL, high pressure laminates. So now we are very focused also on we have a full suite of products actually. So we have the Smart Material Phoenix, and we also have fabrication arm, EDL division, where we do supply install services for worktops. So we have evolved much beyond just laminates.
Then in that case, I think in terms of the repertoire of the product, as well as the services which EDL will be able, like, is well positioned from many years back to now and looking forward. What do you think as a brand, EDL is different from? There are several. I wouldn't say that there's an overcrowding, but there are many laminate fabricators or importers in Singapore, and some of them has been around for a long time. I'm not sure whether many years. And how does that competition aside, but as an industry, I think it's flourishing, so which is great. But how do you still want to? You have to like stand out from the rest, and how do you do that?
Yeah, so apart from us always seeing the need to continue to stay relevant, right, we also hit upon collaborations as a way to communicate our brand in a more design-driven setting.
Would you like to show us some images in that?
Sure. I'll just share my screen. Okay, so this is actually our first collaboration back in 2014 with Formworks. So back then we were very open with our brief, and our general consensus was we wanted to push the boundaries of our material. So I'll just share a couple of other projects that we have done. This was to showcase our new product Phoenix, and that was through our collab with K2LD. Okay. So as you would know, like in the normal context, you will visit like your office to present our products, right? So we thought this is something that we thought would be an interesting platform to showcase our brand and also our material capabilities through creative collaborations like that. Yeah. So this was in partnership with Lacquer. Yeah, and Ipli. Yep.
One of the interesting, before we go on to the next product, but I think the interesting thing about creating awareness, that there are so many ways to create awareness, and one way is of course to really just harp on it, saying how good certain thing is, and so on, right? But I think in this case, the awareness part is being manifested in terms of understanding the characteristic of different materials in your product range, and then to be able to either in terms of colors or in terms of like what I said, the physical characteristic of them, how well they can bend, how well they will perform, how light they are.
It kind of showcases the material capabilities as well.
Absolutely. Yeah. So other than being as a dressing, as a kind of clothes for cabinetry,
furniture,
and so on, and it can also be used, although to a lesser extent, and that's something that design architects would be like really interested in, to see how materials can be utilized in other manners as well. So it serves two purposes. One of it reminds me of like if you look at the luxurious or luxury brands, and they have got the window display and all that. So it's usually something that's more experimental and so on. So it catches people's attention.
Yeah.
But the majority will still get the classic bags and the classic shoes and so on, right? But the talking point, showing that we're moving forward, that actually helps the main core of business to grow as well.
That we agree.
All right. The next product which really
so we've always constantly trying to anticipate market demands and be on the lookout for new materials. So one of the new addition that changed the market was actually this material, Phoenix. So it started with us like noticing a demand for matte materials that was unanswered. So for matte materials, there's always an issue of like fingerprints and scratches. So we wanted to look for a material that is resistant to both. And in this picture here, you can see the Phoenix being used for both horizontal and vertical application. So typically for matte surfaces in the market that don't have features like that, you end up having a lot of problems. Yeah, so this is also Phoenix being used in a university in Bangkok.
That's beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah. And most recently, we also set up, like I mentioned earlier, a fabrication arm, EDL Compact, where we actually supply and install worktops and for furniture and for kitchen and vanity. So what you see here is actually our compact for our vanity application for backing and tops. So it's a very slick panel that comes in 6 and 10 mm. And this is actually a backing application for the compact.
The compact is part of the new is it a new wing, or but at least it's a new product range that you're going to both in terms of fabrication. Are you going to how's the fabrication like? Is it going to be where is it that you source the compacts from?
So our compact materials are all from Italy. Yeah, so compact is actually like an extension of our HPL range. So we actually noticed that designers and homeowners alike, they will like a complete solution for their worktops as well as for their carpentry, which is the laminates. So with this compact division coming into our whole business, it actually sits very well because we are able to offer like a one-stop solution for designers who are looking to have a complementary set of kitchen, for example. Yeah.
Yeah, awesome. I think that one of the other good thing which we definitely want to talk about is from the transition from a supplier of HPL to of course there could be a variety of outlets that the laminates are being applied, right? So typically of course to contractors, then to designers who design and build as well. And but you were sharing with me just now that for the compact, you will be fabricating, and then you will be installing, providing the installation work as well. Would you like to talk a bit more regarding that?
So maybe about 1.5 years back to 2 years, we decided to start this EDL compact division. So back then it was a steep learning curve because we had to transition from being like a distributor to a fabrication, manufacturing kind of segment in the business. So then we had to procure machines and CNC machines, and we have a team who will go out to site to measure, and they will come back, and our technician guy will actually cut to size, and our guys will go out to install. So it's a whole new process that we are learning actually even up to now. Yeah.
The interesting part, which I think would be like following this, at least this is how I feel, you know, and I've shared that with you many times, Daphne. That I think the idea about navigating like from even a few years back, like moving forward, there is more and more awareness of the end user. So the end users could be like you know, the homeowners or or you know, the different owners of different properties, or either in commercial offices and of course in residential projects. But then the thing is that clients are more, again, the ultimate end users are more and more concerned with things that goes into like you know, the makeup things. So more than now that they want to be interested at least in of course the kind of the ply or the kind of wood or the kind of metal. And definitely as the surface for it, because there is actually, you know, like what I said many
what
times,
they see day in, day out, right? Yeah.
Absolutely. So the kind of story that the EDL is able to help create awareness for, and that is one of the reasons why the show suite that you have done back in your warehouse factory is like more or less like dedicated to end users in mind, and of course with the you know, you have like formulated like very interesting concepts. I think this is forest, right? This is forest.
Yeah, the woods.
I can yeah, you can tell. So would you like to talk a little bit about the different initiatives, because I do know a lot, you know, about the different initiatives that you have. Not just to, I mean, for both to engage the end users and as well as to engage the designers. I think both are huge audience for you.
Yeah, that's right. So, like you mentioned, actually, it's really, really accurate. I think like the most interesting trend right now we witness is our entry into the B2C market. Like we noticed a big shift in the landscape 10 years ago and now. Like previously, our business was largely focused on B2B. It's like our outreach to designers and architects like you guys. But in the recent years, we're seeing an increasing trend of end users taking an interest in material selection and what goes into their home. So we answered this by launching our new retail gallery that you are seeing here. So this space, we should envision this space to be like a physical manifestation of our brand. So this is actually the woods area where there are pull-outs, okay, where it houses all our wood grain decors. And this is our boutique, where we house all our pattern designs that ranges from like marble to stones and to fabrics and all the fancy designs. And also the library. I think this is where, at a glance, like end users and designers like yourself can see our offerings just at a glance. Yeah. So in this space itself, you guys can come and view like the full sheets and be very sure about what goes into your home. You know, I think that's what a lot of owners want to know. Yeah, and like they can come over where we have our product specialists can offer them advice as well. Yeah.
Oh, great! Thank you, Daphne. Daphne, before we end the show, and we wouldn't like to end the show, and thanks for everyone who is tuning in. We can see that there are more and more audience who are tuning in at this minute. But so follow us, and we'll be showing more of Daphne and her work in the few more seconds to come. But before we go into that, I just wanted to to understand the kind of the kind of experience that this is what I feel, and it's something which I think I shared with you last week, that somehow there is a certain I would like to use the word like magical touch that not just from yourselves, but the laminates and as well as the literature that drives the promotion of the laminates. Like for example, you would have newsletters, and for example, you would have your catalog to be designed and to be presented in a way which could be like definitely more editorial, or it could be more illustrative. Something that bucks against current or even like previous understanding of how laminate is. I'm sure that's something that is deliberate. I hope that you can touch a little bit on that.
So so a very big part of our branding is we're actually very focused on growing the brand, and very mindful about whatever we present out to yourself, like designers and also end users. And we are very how would I say, like very particular as well. Like we always try to innovate and find like different ways to showcase our materials. So like I said, collab is one of them, and also to have nice catalogs. I think those are things that are little touches that we try to put in. Not just being nice, but I think it being functional. Yeah.
Huge.
So after all, we are in this design industry, and I think we are serving creative people like you guys. I think it's important that we speak the same language. Yeah.
I think that part is great. The fact that the materials. I mean, as designers, we plan for something. Is there something that is like brewing in our mind and in our head, then of course it gets translated into drawings. Traditionally, then of course sketches, and then now there's like modeling and so on. But then at the end of the day, it's got to be realized. So when the materials that we're able to to get hold of, in terms of not just representing the materials themselves, but to be able to project the correct or at least something which is more of a design centric.
That's right.
Orientation. I think that works really, really well with designers, and I'm sure with the end users.
Exactly.
Daphne, thank you for being with us today. So it's a real pleasure.
Thank you for having me.
No problem. Certainly hope to see more products that comes from EDL, from you and your family, and of course with your very hardworking team. And also, and not only that, I would say that's just half of the things and good work that you folks are generating. I think the other part, I'm not sure, whether this is how you feel, but from the almost like the receiving end, how you bring how you can share or even educate to a certain extent through the many different avenues of the product, and then through collaborations, and then different ways to bring across the message to both the end users and to the designers. Thanks for really doing that, because I think that really adds on to the overall synergy of the design industry in Singapore. I think that's something that we are all looking out for, like great materials and how from your side you can really push.
Thank you for your support as well.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, folks. So we'll see you next week. And if you have any questions regarding laminates, and in particular EDL laminates for each tier and for the compacts, do contact Daphne or any of our family members and crew anytime. Thank you.